Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to EdHeroes Asian Malaysia Chapter. We are at Track 2, Session 3, and we will have a very knowledgeable discussion about education for sustainable development. And of course, I'm going to introduce myself as the moderator for this session. My name is Timothy Joseph Utagal. I'm an international student ambassador of Tianjin University, and I am a committee of Indonesian Student Association in the Tianjin branch, Asia Oceania branch, and in the world region. And right now, I am very glad that we going to discuss about ESD today because we are going to learn specifically from our established education heroes, right? As we will learning how to be an education hero. And of course, our speaker here are a very established one. She is Professor Wandari Handayani. She is a professor at the Department of Urban and Regional Planning, Faculty of Engineering, Diponegoro University. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in Urban and Regional Planning and master's degree in the same major at Bandung Institute of Technology and population studies in the Stuttgart University in Germany. And right now, her research focuses on urban and regional resilience, mostly in the context of disaster risk management, climate adaptation, and governance. And she has also performed as the monitoring and evaluation coordinator for several projects since 2011 and Deputy Chief Resilience Officer of Semarang City since 2015. I would like to welcome our professor today. Hello, Professor.
Hello, Mas Timothy. Just
Yes,
call me Wiwi. Yeah, my name's quite long, so yeah. Can you hear my voice clearly?
yes, of course. I can hear your voice, Professor
Okay,
Wiwi. Yeah, it's very nice to meet you, and thank you for your
nice to
time
meet
and
you too.
opportunity to come with here today. Yeah, and of course, how do you do today, Professor Wiwi?
Yeah. First of all, deep apologize. I didn't really realize that there's a time 1 hour difference yeah
Yeah,
between here and Malaysia and the announcement in Malaysia time. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much and nice again to meet you, Mas Timothy.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I am also understand. I'm also from Indonesia, and of course, we have a difference of 1 hour. But of course,
Mhm.
Professor, according to your experience right now, that we are going to discuss about education for sustainable development, and according to your experience, what do you think is really the meaning, the purpose of this developing education sustainably?
Yeah. Before I start to answer, first of all, thank you very much again for the invitation, and I'm very glad that I have the opportunity to share about the education in the context of sustainable development. And I think in the current and also for the future challenges, yeah, it will be very critical and important to accommodate and to address education as an important component to promote sustainability and to promote sustainable development, because I think that is the very basic requirement to ensure that we can promote a better future, yeah, for the
Yeah.
younger generation, for the future generation, raising awareness, knowledge development,
Yes.
uh, more inclusive and participatory for all community to be participated in the development process. It require quality education. Yeah, that's what
Yes,
I
of
can
course.
share. Yeah, Timothy.
Yes. Of course, I agree because right now we are already agreeing with one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, that is to develop the quality education. And of course, according to our development, we want to empower, right, all ages for knowledge, skills, values, attitudes to address the interconnected global challenges. So, according to your perspective, what do you think is the crucial factor for us to develop education for sustainable development?
Yeah, I think I would like to bring the conversation to the when we talk about SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah, they're a very famous tagline, so-called as no one left behind. Right. So we
Yes.
need to ensure that everybody has their role and responsibility to be included, yeah, in the development
Yes.
process sustainably. So the crucial part is to ensure we can process the development that we have, that no one left behind, that
Yes.
everybody with various background, with different interests, different opportunities can be included optimally to the development
Yes.
process, Mas Timothy. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, of course, inclusivity, because right now we are seeing there's a lot of inequality in the education system where one have the
Yeah.
ultimate access, for example, to study abroad, to study at the various
Yeah.
sectors of the education. But there is also
Yes.
another sector, maybe in villages, that there is no access or difficult access to
Mhm.
education. And according to you, what is the first step that we have to do so that everyone can get this inclusivity?
Yeah, I think, yeah, as continuing, yeah, the previous conversation, there is a gap,
Yes.
right? The gap of
Yes.
opportunity, the gap of knowledge, the gap of awareness. So what we need to do that everybody, not only the government but also all the stakeholders, need to have the access, yeah, to contribute to the development of the education system, yeah, to give, to provide a kind of platform
Yes.
for the people who may not have enough access to the education or information or knowledge, yeah, to be able to participate in the development. So we need
Yes.
to reach the very bottom level of people, because otherwise, yeah, the gap will be become higher and higher. So I think closing the gap will be very important, not only improving the quality of the people who already have the access, but also ensuring the people who are in the, yeah, maybe, yeah, quote unquote, in the lowest level to get the access to the education, information, and knowledge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Every part of
Mhm.
our, let's say we see at the news outlet right now at the pandemic
Mhm.
condition, there is a lot of
Yeah.
difficulties in accessing digital education, and it's important for us to start from the platform, starting from the accessibility. And of course, I want to relate this with
Exactly.
the current condition that we have on our Indonesia's
Mhm.
education, especially
Mhm.
nationally. Uh, our Ministry of Education has made proposal for national curriculum of prototype. Do you think that will be helping us to improve the platform and accessibility for every students in education Indonesia?
Yeah, in a way, I believe. every policy, whatever it is, every programs, whatever it is, established for a good purpose, established
Yes.
for a good reasons, right? Yeah, there will no public policy without that expectation, right? Without that
Yes.
purpose. But I'm not telling. I will not give my perception on whether it is good or not. But what I would like to say is the most important, how to bring the policy to the implementation level. So it won't
Yes.
be only at the policy level, but we need to ensure whatever the policy is, in the current education system, we can make it at the implementation, at the operationalization level. I think that my bottom line would be, because I believe all the policy will is there for a good reason, for a good purpose. Yeah, Mas Timothy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, of course, because I see there's a lot of variability where the government realized that the platform
Mm-hmm.
and access still limited. They started to have new programs. They maybe start from the high school level where you can start
Mm-hmm.
contributing in the projects, and then let's say for
Mm-hmm.
people in the lowest level, maybe given subsidies. And what I want
Yeah.
to say is that there's a different uh, projects that
Mm-hmm.
is and curriculum that is released by
Mm-hmm.
the our Ministry of Education. Do you
Yeah.
think that these steps taken by Ministry of Education,
Mm-hmm.
uh, how long can we reach to that level of sustainability? Will it be much
Yeah.
longer in the future, or are we having a plan
Yeah.
to fulfill that?
Yeah. Yeah, if we talk about the situation in Indonesia, I think it's quite complex, yeah, because
Yeah.
we are a big country with a very various characteristic, yeah, various baseline in terms of the local capacity, local human resource, and so on. So I think it will not be easy if we applied only one system that expected to be fit in all areas across Indonesian regions. Yeah. So I think that will be good if the platform or the
Yeah.
policy, even whether it address, let's say, there's a lot of innovative program from the current ministry, let's say from Pak Nadiem, for example, yeah, and I really like the innovative idea, even though there are challenges, yeah, to bring it into the implementation. But anyway, we have to start it, and we should appreciate the ideas. But I think it will be good if we can consider the different baseline among regions. So we cannot expect what I call as one size that fit to all situation,
Yes.
so we need to have some, yeah, combination adjustment, because let's say the situation in Java, outside Java, is different. Things like that should be well accommodated, yeah, to be ensure, answering your question, how long, whether it will be sustained or not. Yeah, it really depends on the local capacity, how we run the policy, and so on. Yeah, Mas Timothy. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Every Indonesia here has a lot of different condition, and our
Mhm.
ministry actually doing a very hard work, try to integrate one system. For example, you have this condition and you want to implement this condition, but of
Mhm.
course there is a lot of pool of criticism like, why do you do this? Why do you do a project? And of course, education is something that is really variable. For that, we know
Mhm.
that there's many problems and there is no one solution. And
Yeah.
according to your experience that you have
Mhm.
participated in a lot of different education projects, do you
Mhm.
think there is a difference in comparison with what the government is doing before and what the government is doing now to try to solve the condition of education?
Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate the initiative from the current government when they
Yeah.
promote the MBKM system, yeah, the Merdeka Belajar program
Yeah.
for the higher education nationally in Indonesia.
Yes.
Um, Even though at the very initial level, then we as a part of the education system, yeah, I was shocked and had shocked in terms of I don't have any idea how we can start, yeah. But
Yes.
if we don't have any, anyway, we have to start it, right?
Yes, of
Even
course.
it is now or maybe next year or maybe 10 years from now, we need to have intention to start it. And if we
Yeah.
wait till we're ready, then we will never be able to start
Yes.
it. So I think I really appreciate the current policy. In there are a lot of innovation. Yeah, for example, I mentioned about the Merdeka Belajar program, where there is a big difference for the students in the university that they will have more variation or opportunity to study
Yes.
outside their program and may have a lot of various experience rather than the curriculum that they receive, yeah, in their own study program. uh, and I think, yeah, and also of course I believe the COVID-19
Yes.
push us in a way to move toward a more modern education system using technology. For example, now we are starting to promote maybe the MOOC, yeah, massive open online course,
Yes.
MOOC. It becomes more familiar, yeah, to all people who work in the education uh, atmosphere. And yeah, in a way there is a jump, a difference between the before and the current. And I do really appreciate, even though back to my earlier statement, yeah, we need to ensure it is not stopped only at the policy level. Then we need to really move forward to really think how to make it work at the implementation, yeah, or realization level, yeah, Mas Timothy. Mhm.
Yeah, of course, because I also see the development of what the Ministry of Education is trying to do, the development from the previous years. I also come in to realize that how the government will introduce something, sort of a Merdeka Belajar, where you can have project-based learning, you can have
Mhm.
internship,
Mhm.
variety how the university will adapt into it.
Mhm.
So it is something new. Some people call it innovation. Some people call it that,
Yeah.
oh, Indonesia are following how international, like in UK, USA are doing. But
Mhm.
there is some people say we are not ready. How are we going to do this? But of course, as we see come along, that people realize that, oh, maybe this is a good thing. We should give the student much more experience of,
Mhm.
during their study, so that they have, some basic fundamental experience, not only the
Mhm.
academic side, in this education. And of course, I am curious that I also realized that you are one of the founding board members for the SDGs at Diponegoro University.
Mhm.
How is the university adapting to this new policy?
Yeah. Yeah, before I answer your last questions, yeah, I just want to add that if we really think we are not ready, then we never been ready.
Yeah.
We will never been ready if we do not want to start. So I think if we think we have innovation, then just start it. Just don't wait until you feel ready, because you never been feel
Yes.
that way. Yeah. And yeah, and following your last questions about the
Yes.
SDGs and in Undip, yeah, I'm happy to have the opportunity to be part of the Undip SDG Center. And I think the establishment of the center provide a kind of platform for the university to uh, to monitor and at least give a kind of guideline, if I may say, to ensure that all the 17 goals within the SDGs can be carried out, yeah, optimally, in not only in the curriculum but also in all three dharma, yeah, education, yeah,
Yes. Of course.
in the curriculum, in the research, and also in our social service or community service activity. So I think this kind of center in every university, in a way, will give a kind of platform to help all the people within the university become a bit aware and
Yeah.
also be able to check, yeah, how far and in which way then we can ensure the SDGs already been included in our education activities, yeah, within the university.
Yeah, of course, because right now university are implementing in every way how they can implement this system. Because some students, especially me right now, I'm from university in China. This
Mhm.
implementation of Merdeka Belajar is sort of a new thing in Indonesia, but already a common thing abroad. So the students can follow the internship program, sort of like they only ask questions to the maybe to the teachers how they can do it, and
Mhm.
of course everyone can benefit from that. And if
Yeah.
Indonesia right now are starting to do that, I think it's a very good start for each university so that each
Mhm.
students can have their
Mhm.
experience before go into career.
Mhm.
And of course, I am curious, what is the biggest challenge for university to implement this system?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is because when we talk about SDGs, it include different sectors. It is in a way multidisciplinary, and I believe with this kind of multidisciplinary characteristic, everybody will have maybe different perception, different interests, yeah, and also different way of thinking on how we can approach the goals. And the biggest challenge is how to ensure we can integrate and make a kind of synergy work, yeah, among different part within the university or even with our partner outside the university to make our step-by-step activities becomes more efficient, yeah, and integrative to achieve the optimum, yeah, output, outcome, and impact of all of our activities, yeah, for sure, yeah, Mas Timothy. So
Yeah, of
again, back
course.
to the
Yeah,
integration and coordination among different education, academic activities. I think, yeah, there's challenges everywhere. Yeah, maybe.
yeah. Yes, of course, that is the biggest challenge of how to actually implement that. Government can make policy, but it is the matter of the people who do it in the university, in the school level, how the government will help. Subsidy, either
Mhm.
collaboration with the international organization, or
Mhm.
maybe from the Ministry of Education can
Mhm.
arrange some arrangements abroad.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, since this is already common at the abroad university, will the Indonesian university make a practical internship as a compulsory program in universities? Sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just lost you. Freeze
Yeah.
for 1 or 2 seconds, Mas Timothy. Apologize for that.
Yes. May I repeat my question? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I am wondering, does the Indonesian university will implement sort of a compulsory internship or practical program for the students in the future?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, even Mas Timothy, it has been that way actually since
Yeah.
in the last decade. It's only the questions is not whether it will include the internship or not, but how many credits, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
how many credits or how many, how long that the university will allow the students to have the experience outside their study program, and because and it's quite challenges because I think every study program has their own reason, yeah, not to give or give, yeah, more opportunity for their students to participate in activities outside the study program or outside the campus. But I believe with the current situation supported by the national policy by the current government, um, they will be progressing. There will be, I think, our curriculum will be progressing and added to the point. Actually, now we are also being motivated by national government also to make our study program to be accredited internationally. And to be accredited internationally, then we need to provide an international curriculum standard, international academic activities with the international standards. So I think it will be progressing, and I'm quite optimistic for this, Mas Timothy. We should be optimistic. But again, yeah, Mas Timothy, the questions is maybe whether all the university across the country, yeah, from Aceh to Papua, yeah, from Sabang to Merauke, will have the same opportunity to have a positive progress, then
Yes.
it will be another challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because I agree that it is right now progressing, and if Indonesian university can have international accreditation, as we know that only few universities in Indonesia do, I think it will not be surprising if one of the rankings of universities from Indonesia will be sort of a top 100 in the world, right? Because yeah,
Hopefully, yeah, we should be in that position not long from now. I hope, yeah. We are a big country in Asia, right? Timothy?
yeah, of course. We are one of the biggest countries in Asia with a lot of human resources. I mean, it is just a matter of time, maybe to we see how we adapting this progress. And according to you, how is this implementation of ESD can be evaluated in the future? How can we know that what progress are we in, and how can we know that we have to improve in the future? What kind of evaluation we can use?
Yeah, I think at the moment, actually, yeah, the national government already have a very clear how can I call it? Performance indicator, national performance indicator
Yes.
for each
Yeah.
university, whether they are already performed or not. There are, it will be a bit technical, but I just want to say there are eight national performance indicator that need to be achieved by each university, yeah, to and to be checked that they are already well performed or not. One of that, yeah, is the the performance of the alumni. So, for
Ah,
example, yeah, Mas Timothy, I know that you now study in China, right? Am I
yes, of course.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. If when you graduated and you go back to Indonesia and you contribute something, yeah, it will
Yes.
give, yeah, a very high performance for the university compared to if you, let's say, yeah, contribute yourself to other countries. It's just a very another example. What I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is actually um, there are indicators to to check the performance of the alumni, to check the
Yes.
performance of the quality of the lecture, yeah, how many publication, how many research, and so on. There are performance to check the collaboration between the university with different stakeholders, not only in on the academic, but also with the government, with the private sectors. There are performance to check the innovation the university made, yeah, to be implemented in the real world. And I think that kind of performance indicators will guide the university to develop themselves. And
Yes.
the only questions is how we can ensure the sustainability of this, yeah, uh, continuous improvement. It will be very important, yeah, not to be stopped on this point, but how we ensure it could be continued, yeah, again for the longer time, yeah, for the future, Mas Timothy. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I agree because as I'm also an international student study abroad, it is also a good hope for every international student of Indonesia abroad. I mean, there's a lot of Indonesian students already study abroad. Yeah, I'm also hoping could contribute into Indonesia's one day. And of course, right now I'm
Yeah,
studying in
go
Lumpur.
back to Indonesia.
Yeah, of course. And we do hope also for students that are right now studying abroad. Let's improve our values that and our experience that we have studying abroad and coming to Indonesia to develop what we can do, what we can contribute to Indonesia. And of course, right now, Professor, we are going to see one of the questions from our audience. So for the questions of audience, let's see. Yes, here is how do we contextualize education for sustainable development in our society? And to what extent does ESD give hopes to address climate change issues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, but at the same time also a hard question. Yeah. um, Yeah. How can I say? I would like to answer this question in two perspective. Yeah. The first perspective is education for what I can call climate literacy for all people. Yeah, all people. So there are several types of education, right? Formal education and non-formal or informal education for all people. So education for sustainable raising awareness, knowledge development can be done in two ways for the people who are at the moment engaged because they are in the work at school or at the university, but also education to all people, right? Maybe they don't have opportunity to go to school and then they have to work, but we need to give them also opportunity uh, to have education at least, yeah, the awareness not only with the sustainable development in general but also climate change uh, as the particular important issues. So for the formal education, I think it will be very important to uh, also put this kind or contextualize this for the earlier child, yeah, for the very younger generation. We cannot just put this idea uh, for the uh, just start, let's say, in the high school or in the university. I think it will not work because this kind of awareness need to be start as early as possible, and
Yes.
we need to also give kind of opportunity for the teacher to to provide innovative way to for the learning system, yeah, so the children will have the chance to understand, for example, about the climate change with in the real life. If we just say climate change, okay, what is climate change? Nobody maybe will understand. But if we can uh, explain that in the with the more, how to say, real situation that we can face day to day, then maybe it will attract more attention and will be easier to be understood. Yeah, and this kind of awareness that need to be started since the beginning, since the in a very early school child period. And the second is also for the whole people, yeah, maybe the whole segment of the society. I think the raising awareness need to be done in every ways using the social media.
Yeah.
uh, the technology is changing their people with different ways to be connected with the information, and we need to use all possible means, yeah, to reach these people. Otherwise, it will be difficult if we just do it partially. We need to do it comprehensively and reaching all types of all stakeholders, all the society. So everybody need to move. Yeah,
Yes.
everybody need to know, to move. That's, I think, the bottom line that I would like maybe to underline. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, of course. I hope that answered the questions. It, of course, we need to refer to our relevant condition that we need opportunity, we need access, we need more
Mhm.
young people to say about this matter. And the
Mhm.
ESD that is implemented by the ministry is the one step for it. And of course, we have one more question, Professor. Let's see the
Mhm.
question. According to the explanation of Professor Wiwi, how to maintain our national programs between regional development and education development in Indonesia so that they are in line with SDGs?
Okay, thank you, Mbak Nandita. Nice to meet you, ya, in this platform, ya, Mbak Nandita. You give me also a challenging and interesting questions, ya. How we maintain the national program, regional development, and education development. Yeah, I think we are again, yeah, in many discussions, I've always highlighted the importance of governance. So what I can tell to ensure not only addressing the maintaining the regional development and education development, uh, the we need to build a strong governance system. We need to build a strong coordination and communication system among different departments, among different agencies, among different level of government. And because it becomes the backbone, yeah, of the development process. We may have a very good human resource, like just what Mas Timothy has said. Yeah, there are now a lot of Indonesians who study abroad and they can go back to Indonesia and so on, but they cannot work or contribute optimally if they are not supported by a good governance system.
Yes.
Yeah, where they
Yeah.
can work and contribute their potential. Yeah, uh, in a way the system is work properly. So that's what are actually our big homework, ya Mbak Nandita and also Mas Timothy, how we
Yes.
can slowly, gradually improve not only the technology, improve not only the innovative works and so on and so on, but also to provide a good and strong governance system, yeah, in all sectors, and also in when we talk about education and regional development. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Nandita, for your questions, and thank you, Sean Min Ho, for your previous question. And of course, Professor, I would like to conclude for this session today. And of course, it is very important for us to develop our opportunities for the education for sustainable development. It is very important for our relevant condition in the society, government. Government has done a very big step on creating the policy on instructing universities, schools to make a new system, whether it is practical, whether it's collaboration, project-based education. But it is the matter, of course, how all the people, all the institution that is involved to create this policy to happen. It is actually the matter of time. And of course, as Professor said, communication is key because right now we are in the pandemic condition, which makes physical contact or anything difficult. But communication, we are already being eased right now. Digitally, we can communicate with each other. And of course, policy from government, we can implement it easily. And government also realized that, especially Indonesia, that we have very good human resources that are currently right now, many studying abroad, many have made inspiration. And right now we have one from Indonesia of education heroes. I mean, this is all are very useful, are very informative that we have the quality that we have. But it is also government, you need to support us, our education, right? You want education to be equal around the country and in line with the SDGs. You need to give us a real impact and support us from the beginning that you create the policy until we can reach to our target in the future. And of course, Professor, we want to reach 2045, right? The golden age, the golden generation of Indonesia in the future, right? So I think we can start from there. Our goal is so far ahead, and I think it's very fruitful our discussion here today. And of course, Professor, I think after this we will have a photo session. So thank you so much for your time. And yeah, so host, we are prepared to have a photo session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mas Timothy. Nice to meet you, and hope we will have other opportunity, yeah, to meet again in person, not
Yeah.
virtually.
Of course, I hope as well, since very good discussion. And of course, Professor, I'm very impressed with your experience, especially that you have made steady contribution not only to the communities, but you work together with the government.
And don't forget, go back to Indonesia when you have graduated. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I want to create my values, collect
Mm.
experience, and of course, I would have a very good contribution for nation in the future. And yeah, so that is the
Yes.
end of our session today. Thank you so much, Professor. I wish so much success for your future endeavor as you are the lecturer and also very good contributor for education heroes that we are already discussed today. Thank you, Professor.
Most welcome. All the best for you too. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye, Professor. Yes, that is everyone for this session today about education of sustainable development. So I think this is very interesting topic, and we will have a very short break, and we will continue to the next session. See you soon.